Nestled deep within the rugged wilderness of Connecticut's Litchfield County, lies a place so shrouded in darkness and mystery that it has been deemed illegal for the public to enter. This is the story of Dudleytown, a once thriving settlement that has been abandoned for over a century due to a series of chilling and unexplained events that have led many to believe the town is cursed. It was a bright summer day in 1906, when Dr. William C. Clark and his wife Harriet, a couple from New York City, stumbled upon the enchanting forest of Dark Entry while searching for a location to build their second home. As they drove along the winding country roads of Litchfield County, the Clarks were immediately captivated by the shimmering, otherworldly beauty of the dense, shadowy woodland. Drawn to the allure of the forest, the Clarks decided to explore further, venturing up a rugged, overgrown road that led them deep into the heart of Dark Entry. What they discovered there only heightened their fascination. The forest was alive with the sounds of chirping birds, scurrying animals, and the haunting hoots of owls that seemed to greet them from the treetops. Sparkling mica deposits in the hillsides cast a magical glow, and the couple stumbled upon the crumbling ruins of an abandoned town, its foundations and stone walls scattered across the forest floor. Undeterred by the eerie remnants of the lost settlement, the Clarks were enchanted by the forest's natural splendor. They promptly purchased 1,000 acres of land within Dark Entry, determined to build their dream home amidst the tranquil, secluded beauty of the woodland. Little did they know, the forest they had chosen as their private sanctuary harbored a dark and sinister history that would soon come to haunt them. The ruins that the Clarks had discovered within Dark Entry were all that remained of the once thriving town of Dudleytown, a settlement that had been abandoned decades earlier under mysterious and unsettling circumstances. Dudleytown's history was shrouded in tragedy, with a series of unexplained deaths, disappearances, and cases of mental illness plaguing its residents over the course of the 18th and 19th centuries. The town was first established in the 1740s, beginning as a small collection of homes and structures that quickly grew into a bustling community of around 30 families. However, as the 1700s drew to a close, a dark cloud began to descend upon Dudleytown, with a string of disturbing events unfolding that would ultimately lead to the town's demise. In 1759, the Carter family moved to Dudleytown, only to have 6 members of their family die suddenly from cholera shortly after their arrival. The remaining Carters were so grief-stricken that they fled Dudleytown, resettling in New York. But their troubles did not end there. They were soon raided by Native Americans, who massacred the family and kidnapped the 3 surviving children. In 1792, a Dudleytown resident named Hollister died under mysterious circumstances, with no one knowing if he had fallen from a roof or been murdered. Hollister's neighbor, a man named Tanner, began obsessively talking about seeing strange, shadowy creatures roaming the woods at night, eventually descending into insanity. Tanner's next-door neighbor, Abel, also reported seeing these eerie, supernatural entities in the forest, and he too slowly lost his grip on reality. General Herman Swift, a renowned Revolutionary War hero living in Dudleytown, also went mad shortly after his wife was struck by lightning. In 1813, an unknown epidemic swept through Dudleytown, killing many of its residents. As more and more townspeople either died suddenly or mysteriously, or reported sightings of the strange, shadowy creatures, the population of Dudleytown began to dwindle. By the early 1900s, the only remaining family in Dudleytown was the Brophies, but they too met a tragic end. Their sheep all died, the mother succumbed to tuberculosis, the 2 sons disappeared after being accused of theft, and the father, John Brophy, wandered off into the forest and was never seen again. With the town now completely abandoned, the ruins of Dudleytown stood as a haunting reminder of the dark forces that had plagued its residents. The locals were convinced that the town was cursed, and they refused to go near the forest, warning others to stay away as well. This was the eerie legacy that the Clarks had unknowingly stumbled upon when they discovered Dark Entry and decided to build their dream home there. After purchasing their 1,000-acre plot within Dark Entry, Dr. Clark set to work building his family's rustic cabin, undeterred by the local builders' refusal to work on the project. The Clarks spent many idyllic summers and holidays in their secluded forest retreat, reveling in the natural beauty and tranquility of their surroundings. However, their peaceful sanctuary would soon be shattered when, in 1918, Dr. Clark was called away to New York City for a medical emergency, leaving his wife Harriet alone in the cabin. What happened to Harriet during those fateful days would haunt the Clarks for the rest of their lives. When Dr. Clark returned to Dark Entry just 36 hours later, he was met with a horrifying sight. The front door of the cabin was slightly ajar, and as he approached, he was assaulted by the deafening sound of owls hooting all around him in the forest. Fearing for his wife's safety, Dr. Clark rushed inside, only to be confronted by a chilling scene. Harriet was curled up on the floor of their bedroom, her eyes wide and unblinking, her mouth gaping open as she emitted a high-pitched maniacal laughter. Paralyzed by fear, Dr. Clark could only watch as his wife descended into a state of apparent madness. By some accounts, Harriet spent the rest of her life in a mental asylum, while others claim she returned to New York with her husband, only to take her own life. The Clarks' harrowing experience within the cursed forest of Dark Entry has only added to the legend of Dudleytown, a place that remains off-limits to the public to this day. Those who have dared to venture into the abandoned town have reported feeling pockets of inexplicable cold, as well as the sensation of phantom hands pushing and slapping them. Paranormal investigators have also captured strange, shadowy figures in photographs taken within the forest, further fueling the belief that Dudleytown is a place haunted by dark, supernatural forces. For those who are intrigued by the dark and mysterious history of Dudleytown, there are a few ways to delve deeper into the paranormal investigations and explorations of this cursed town. One of the most well-known sources is the work of the famous paranormal couple, Ed and Lorraine Warren, who declared the area around Dudleytown to be demonically possessed after conducting a special investigation there in the 1970s. If you're interested in hearing more exclusive stories and insights about Dudleytown and other strange, dark, and mysterious tales, be sure to check out the Mr. Ballin podcast Strange, Dark, and Mysterious Stories. This podcast, available on Amazon Music and other major platforms, features brand new stories every week, as well as remastered audio versions of some of Mr. Ballin's most popular YouTube videos. Additionally, you can stay up to date on the latest news and content from Mr. Ballin by following him on social media, including Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And don't forget to check out the Mr. Ballin merchandise store for exclusive apparel and accessories. If you have a story suggestion or would like to get in touch with Mr. Ballin, be sure to visit the Mr. Ballin subreddit and send a direct message. Mr. Ballin is always eager to hear from his audience and explore new, captivating stories to share. While the cursed town of Dudleytown remains off-limits to the public, the enduring mystery and fascination surrounding this haunted place continue to captivate audiences worldwide. Whether you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious, or simply intrigued by the supernatural, the story of Dudleytown is sure to leave an indelible mark on your imagination.